Game 2 of the day and our final game of the 2024 Southern Conference Tournament. The top seed has forced the if necessary game as the number 2 seeded in host school UNCG Spartans will.
We just have to be able to adjust here. Can we adjust?
What a great start for UNCG out of the gates. Mason Brown leads things off on the first pitch she sees with a single to right out of the gate here in the first inning to try to erase some of the memories of what happened just a little bit ago. But Maxwell, who's had a fairly quiet tournament at the plate, hasn't been completely shut down. Game 2 and really handed it to the top-seeded Spartans, winning 10-1. Couple of solid singles to right here in the first inning, being the 2 seed. First chance they've had to do that. Of course, playing them yesterday because this is the 3rd time they've played in the last 2 days. There's a Chartrand walk. Not the start you wanted if you're Gould. And that's hit in the air. That may bring the first run of the game home. Runner from third is going to tag. Here's the throw, and I think it had beaten, I think the runner from third, Brown, was going to beat it anyway. Purdy coming in front of the plate to field that throw, and UNCG, after being shut out.
Not saying that that's going to be the situation here, but it definitely helps. And that's not a bad throw. Just ends up getting away from catcher Purdy.
Samford defeat, where they were soundly beaten. Looks like that's going to get Chattanooga out of the inning. That was the only time they had been shut out. So UNCG shut out for just the 2nd time this year in that earlier game. Gould limits the damage to a run, toe the rubber with a 1-0 lead against this Chattanooga batting order. And putting it in play right away is Snell. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Played at Collins Hill High School. And a ground ball up the middle as Chattanooga and Cameron Cernudo has patrolled center field so well. Knocks
fair territory, but then shoots into foul territory.
Hit to the right side. Momentarily bobbling it is White, but recovers as LaPerry is able to move.
Regionals for these 2 teams.
Scooped up by Shipley. We'll talk about that more when we get into the 2nd inning. That's been a point.
Stand behind home plate and pace.
Directly behind the circle. Shortstop Snell's got it. 1 down. And that would, I'm sure, just make you.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm pitching great.
In the car on the way there and the way back. Boy, nicely snagged by Phillips. What a play over at third. The veteran doing it with the bat earlier today. She does not want.
She can come away and get this out here.
Hit in the air. That's going to drop. 2-out single, well placed. De La Height will save an at bat for the. Puts a charge into that one. Pretty deep out in left, but Pitts with the shades on makes the grab. And the top of the 2nd inning is history. We go to the bottom of so many people have no idea that it takes to make a broadcast come together. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Extra bases for Forsyth, who has also had an all-tournament type of week. And the first Chattanooga hit allowed here in the bottom of the 2nd. That's lifted in the air, fairly deep, right center field. That is off the wall. Being waved home is Pikus. She's going to tie the game, and Callie Phillips has a triple.
We're tied up 1-1 in this game.
Just a great piece of hitting. Phillips today has come up huge. She's tied the game here in the 2nd. Represents the go-ahead run at. Goes down swinging here, though, for the first out of the inning. Maddie Spell, you talked about that passion that she exudes while she's pitching. Realizes how big of a strikeout that. Remember, she was stranded in the first game after that double to increase the lead. Trying to bring her home, but Spell again. Talk about that toughness.
Offense going again.
That is hit into the gap, left center field. That ball hits the top of the wall and comes back. I thought that ball was out of here after it hit the top of the wall, but bounced back at any rate. Chattanooga has the lead. Top of the batting order, and Snell, as she swings at the first pitch. Chartrand has trouble with it, and not in time at first. On the first pitch from Jordy Chartrand, Maddie Spell has struck for 2 in the second. They now lead. A run of insurance in the person of Sellers over at third. They do throw down to second as Snell takes off. Sellers does not try it from third. Here in the second, looking for more, as that's hit to the right side. Should be the inning. So, a lot going on in that bottom of the second inning. That controversial double, Chattanooga does get to. Pitching change was seen in a long time, or maybe in some cases you've never seen before. Called strike 3 as Brooklyn Maxwell, again, hasn't been completely for 5 as a double, has drawn 3 walks. So it's not like she's been completely taken out of the tournament. And maybe sometimes, too, when you have a SOCON Player of the Year type of campaign back in the 2000s into the early teens. We'll talk about that more going forward. But it hasn't happened much as we continue to dig through some history here in the league. A dream starting to be realized across the country. Conference USA, other leagues, their tournaments finishing up as Maxwell win the Southern Conference, could perhaps get a second team. What a catch from Maxwell, a sliding grab. Just a great job there at second. We said Maxwell
Call that a strike. I would also call that a strike. All ends here, so feel it on all sides, and that is another walk for Chartrand against Phillips. Runner in scoring position now.
And for a player like Phillips in her 6th year. And that's off the plate. A 4-pitch walk to Dovey. Dovey looked back at home just to make sure that was ball 4. Approaching 4:30 here on the East Coast as that is hit up the middle. Maxwell can't handle it. 1 run is going to score. Here comes another runner across the plate. That's Phillips. The bottom of the order has done it again for Frank Reed. In that first game with very little drama.
And there you can see that bobble and kicking that ball around a little bit before she makes that throw home. What aggressive base running from Kaylee ball right now. 2 errors.
Hit to the left side. Third baseman Shipley takes it herself. And UNCG able to get out of the 3rd inning, but the 4th inning.
And that will hit Shipley. We just talked about limiting the free.
The first 2 base runners here in the top of the 4th. That looked like ball 4. But on a 3-2 pitch, you got to offer at something close. White does. And the first out recorded here.
He's here. But she will.
Not close. On 4 pitches. Asia Gould just then threw her 49th.
The workout that she's putting her body through right now is pretty intense, and that just barely misses for Gould. I don't know if he
has very good command, just 36 walks in more than 100 innings pitched, but gives up one here. De La Height lays off, and the Spartans are on a championship Saturday in the SOCON. Just one out in the inning. Here's a ground ball to the left side. They go the short route as a run comes home to make it a 4-3 game. McKinnon slides in as you have players step up. Lavdis with something to say after she punches out Maxwell as UNCG gets two made. Stories have been told. What do the next couple of innings have for us? There's a simple fly ball. De La Height squeezes it for the first out of the bottom of the fourth. And does it here. Punches it to the left side, but Shipley's got it. Two retired. So Chartrand does come back out for the fourth. An effective push to this if necessary game. That ball is hit hard. Into the gap. Left center field. Extra bases for LaPerry. Hit that right on the screws.
This is due here. 0 for 2 on the day. Holds off and will be walked. That is Chartrand's third walk of the day. ACC championship back in 2021 was Duke.
Grounded to third. Easy play for Shipley, and that's the inning. We head to the fifth inning in a one-run contest. One seed.
Game one earlier in the week between these two teams.
Hit hard into center field. Cernoto back to make the catch. That ball was hit hard off the bat of Lofton for the first out. And we're just in the fifth inning.
I know. You don't know what's going to happen. It's just so fun to be a part.
Lifted in the air. That's going to be a tough play, and Phillips makes the grab. Diving almost in the pitching circle.
Was going to come in, and then all of a sudden Phillips she comes out of nowhere like Superman and makes that diving grab. Let's look at it again here. God, just a fantastic catch by Phillips. And again, another pop-up out for UTC. Let's see if they can ride that momentum from that crazy catch into the bottom of the fifth. Do you have to try to make an attempt to get out of the way?
This could be better. It is better. Way, way out of here.
I am absolutely speechless. Kaylee Phillips, have a day. The sixth-year senior with an amazing triple, an amazing diving catch, and now a home run for the Mocs.
Bring her back, and she's able to hit the farthest ball we've seen this week. That almost into the tree. Have been able to have their defense help them get out of a jam, but now back-to-back homers. Solo shots off the bats of Phillips and now Keelan, as it's now a 6-3 game in the fifth.
Goodness gracious.
Was trailing late here in this stadium. Addie Keelan, Callie Phillips, a part of that team that came way back late, won in extra innings, denied UNC.
Mayhem right here. I love it. I love it. This is softball. It has been so fun to watch.
Back-to-back homers from Phillips and Keelan to begin the inning. Finally, the first out in the top of the fourth. They were very much into this. Still are as we go to the sixth inning, but going to go back out to the top of the batting order. Sellers draws the walk. Game 5-0. This one has had drama to make up for what we didn't have in game one, as that's chopped up the middle. They go the short route for one and the second out of the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, this is
6-3 game here in the fifth. Punch to the left side. Maxwell's got it. That'll put the wrap on the fifth inning. UNCG faithful trying to urge their team on.
Both of these teams wanting to advance.
Lifted in the air, playable perhaps. Sellers makes the catch. First base umpire Dustin Holton with some bravado, punching out the first out of the inning, but
for her teammates for sure.
This ball was in foul territory, and it was also going into the shadow, which makes it difficult, and there's a kind of a concrete step right there. Crowned since 2015, trying to follow it up with a tournament championship. That looks playable. Shortstop. Snell has got it. 2 outs here in the sixth. Not the way you wanted to start the sixth inning if you're the...
A blast out there.
Lifted in the air. Should be the third out. Who called it? The second baseman, LaPerry and Snell, both made the finish line. Reese Bird out for the bottom of the sixth inning. 3, 4, and 5. And LaPerry lines one to left. Chattanooga would love nothing. He did have to bounce back from a loss in coming back to win the title. That ball's hit hard. Center fielder Lofton's got it, 1 out. But to put it dangerous for Forsyth. It's an off-speed pitch, lifted in the air. Left fielder De La Height has got it, 2 away.
But we've seen some really great pitching performances from Peja Gould, from Margaret Axelson, from Tessa Jewett, from Mackenzie Newcomb.
Mackenzie Martin of Western Carolina finally getting a win, as that's a fair ball. Chattanooga is going to add to the lead. Frank Reed is going to hold up Phillips at third, but Addie Keelan, a member of that 2022 tournament winning team, pulled that off. The veteran head coach just let his team enjoy it, and they are going to enjoy an even bigger lead. The Mocs and the bottom of their batting order have produced all week long. Jace Purdy give her 2 more RBIs, and it is a 9 this week. She could walk off UNCG. That's lifted in the air. Second baseman Brown's got it, and that'll be the inning. We head to the 7th. In a 9-3 game, UNCG.
And it's not over yet. It will be very difficult for this UNCG team to come back in the top of the 7th, but it's not impossible as De La Height leads off with this walk. No outs.
Take this a little bit at a time with a steep mountain ahead of them. That's hit in the air. That is going to be a fair ball. Down right at the wall. And here is UNCG. There is life in the Spartans yet.
They are definitely putting up a fight, not wanting to go down easily.
Maxwell singles to left. 9-4 game. As she doesn't waste any time. Brooklyn Maxwell.
Definitely not afraid of the fight.
Here's Chartrand. That ball's hit hard. Up the middle and through. Brown home from third. It's 9-5. Present the tying run. If Cheek could get on. A huge, huge 3-2 pitch right here to Jaden Cheek. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 2015, trying to add a tournament title. Here's the payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Chattanooga. Tournament champions of 2024. as they mob each other in front of the circle. The mock train keeps rolling down the tracks as the Chattanooga Mocs, in all of their great history, for the very first time win 2 games on the final day of the tournament. The heroes plentiful for the group from the Scenic City as Frank Reed's Mocs do it again.
Gosh, what a storyline ending.